Mark Watts, Derek Dolgner, Elitefts.com. Today we're going to talk about band TKEs. Now, TKE stands for terminal knee extension, which really means that it's a closed chain exercise to work basic extension of the knee. I first got this progression from a video that we have on our site from Buddy Morris and Tom Myslinski when they were both coaching at the Cleveland Browns. They have a series that they went through. So we're going to basically just abridge that series a little bit and go over a couple different exercises that will go into a progression for your athletes. With the terminal knee extension, it's really targeted to work that the VMO, the Vastus Medialis. Combine that with some soft tissue work with that IT band, that liliotibial band, and it can really help with some knee tracking issues that you might have for your athletes. So again, we'll just go over the basic premise again. When you have it set up, again, we're just using a greater and average band, but again, Derek's going to have that right behind, again, in the crook of the knee, right where that knee bends. He's going to keep his heel on the ground, and again, all he's going to do is squat forward a little bit, squat down, and then straighten. And he's going to flex that quad as hard as he can, probably holding that contraction for a few seconds and come down. This exercise is pretty effective when you get up to the higher rep ranges, where you really start to feel it. So again, really looking at somewhere between 15-30 degree angle, really trying to squeeze that quad at the top. The next progression, besides using different bands, besides going to the next band up, which would be a strong band, you can actually elevate. You could actually elevate the athlete. And again, now what he's going to do is kind of what we call a heel touchdown. So with that opposite foot, he's going to just basically touch that heel to the ground, dorsiflex his foot, so he touches the heel to the ground, but everything else is the same. Now he just gets a little bit more range of motion. Without getting too much more knee flexion, he's just basically activating the hips, but again, it just adds a little bit of resistance vertically as well as horizontally as well too. So the progression would be with bands, and then also with the height of that box. I don't think for most athletes anything above a 12-inch box is necessary, just because you get just too much of an angle, and then you just kind of defeat the purpose. So the last one, if you are cut for time and you need to really get a lot of athletes through at once, what you can do is you can go ahead through and just attach both. Now the key thing with this is if I have two going at once, I got to make sure that again my toes are pointed right to that knot. That's the most important thing, making sure that again those heels are on the ground. I'll do the same thing. I'll just get into a squat position, probably like a quarter squat, again looking at that about 15-30 degree angle, and then I'll just come up and make sure that again that I'm just squeezing both quads. So if you're safe, if you're really rushed for time, you have a lot of athletes to go through, and instead of having them go one leg at a time, you can do this and kind of save. Probably the other way is a little more optimal, but this way is kind of a good time saver. So again, really good for basically that the reconditioning phase, post rehab. I'm not really ready to play. I just need to get some more muscle mass on those muscles to protect the knee. It's a really good exercise, and again, something you can do some extra in a workout. And again, it's not a ton of stress on the knee, and it's still a closed chain movement, so your foot's still playing on the ground like you would do in sports. And at the same time, it's just not going to be a ton of stress on the system by adding some more squats in. So give those a try. Those are progressions. Remember, again, by bands. Again, you could progress by bands. You could also progress by the height of the box as well. And the last way you can progress, obviously, is weight, reps, total reps, and then time under tension. So if you end up pausing that and squeezing that contraction for up to 5 seconds now, that'll give you a little bit more stimulus with that. So you can get up to the point where you're getting a lot of work done with a minimal amount of time for that. So try those out. See what you think.